I'm going to. If I would have had a brain, I would have put. I didn't bring my other monitor in here, so I only have one screen right now.
All we need is one screen for you, Chels. That's what we need. One screen, and I can get it together. Anytime you need to try to figure it out and get some things that's accoutrement to the stream, you feel free. Welcome in, everybody. And what would the postman be without being late? Mailbox Sports. If y'all can give me one more second, we're going to welcome in my co-host for the day, and we're doing a collab. Chelsea Lynn is in the building, repping cowboy country in her own special way. How we doing today, Chelsea?
We are doing good. Can't complain.
We can't complain, but we won't complain about our respective teams. What I will do is turn on the lights so you can see my ugly mug a bit better, and then we're going to get into a little bit of controversy, to say the least, and it always surrounds a certain giraffe in our streaming community. So we'll get to it in one moment. Give me 2 seconds, everybody. You can count them off with me. Look at them two.
What's up, y'all? I want to say hey to everybody in the chat.
Alrighty. I know that got to look a little better than what we started out with. And so everybody today, while we got you here, me and Chelsea both like sports. G Honda, if anybody in the chat, welcome in everybody. T Miles, Pool Man, Rachel, and the, what do we call this guy? The journalistic giraffe himself, G Honda, when he gets in. We watch football, everybody, and what they call a explosive play. The Chicago Bears are why we bring this up. I'm a Bears fan, and the Bears are number one in the NFL in explosive plays. An explosive play, if we get into it, as far as what the definition would be, is as such a big chunk play that would be, what is it, Chelsea, 20 yards or more, I believe it is, for a pass. Any run that would exceed 10 yards. And I think that certain things for us as a sports fan constitute to reach those caveats or that milestone, even if it doesn't reach such a specificity, i.e. a nice truck stick, a hard hit that might be a fourth down stop, a pass batted down when you need that one play for your team to come through with a victory, could be something that would help us out, a broken coverage by another team that helps your team to get wide open when you desperately need a play. All of those are the types of things that we can classify as explosive plays. With that being said, we have to analyze these a bit differently according to our own journalistic giraffe. So we're going to give you a bit of a video history, and we will give you a little bit of G Honda's definition of a splash play. Now, before we get into G Honda's splash plays, if anybody does not know who G Honda is, we're going to give you a little slight video just so that everybody knows who the man is that we speak of right now. So give me a minute. Let's set us up. The journalistic giraffe himself, G Honda, is who we gonna pull up for y'all. So I don't want y'all to believe anything different when you see him. Here we go. Yes, everybody. As you see the elongated neck, the yellow gloves, all of those things here, highly. Oh, we got more. We got more pictures of G Honda. Don't you fret, everybody. Just when we think they all gone, he has more. You got to see that long neck. Look how he dribbles that ball right across the top of his nose. Look at those knobbly knees.
Taking the play.
If y'all know, he drops the ball on all of these plays. He actually never catches the ball, but he professes to be an athlete. As you see all 6'8" of him fumble the ball around, it just really won't help him out. But G Honda himself defines a splash play as what? I believe, Chelsea, and correct me if I'm wrong, any play that results in either a turnover or a large play that results in a touchdown.
Exactly.
I don't know of the wiggle room in between that, but it seems to me that if you don't score, it's not a splash play according to the giraffe. So first, chat, I want to know, is anybody in the chat familiar with the term splash play, and do they agree with the first definition or the G Honda definition? Let us know in the chat. Important that we figure out where you stand in this argument, because we put together a bevy of plays, or highlights I should say, and all three of us have a vision of what we classify as a splash play. I'm going to give you first what the lovable giraffe himself has submitted as highlights, i.e. G Honda splash plays. We will go through each individual play for each slide. We will chop and try to analyze, one, if we think it is a splash play. Two, I'm going to give you all this another little rundown for us in terms of how we can get these things going, because I think we should have categories when we talk about some of these things. The explosive run play, we might see some of those out there, and it's a return to sender. We could have a fragile sticker alert. It means he was one tackle away from getting him, but you just didn't get there, and he's going to the house. Sometimes you got a player that just bites real hard, has wobbly knees like a G Honda, and can't make the tackle, and he whiffs, and he got the wrong tracking number out there. Or maybe we just let you guys go ahead and decide. Maybe we got some gadget plays for him. A jet sweep, anything like that. Maybe you got any what we call a bag of fun for Ben Johnson. We got another, what do we classify it as, Chelsea? Delivered or a lost mail. Might be a defensive play. We don't talk much about defense when it comes to the glitz and glam, but they do have some of those splash plays as well. So if we can, Chelsea, what are, how can I say it? What are some splash plays that you are looking forward to proving or disproving? And by that I mean, do you have any disagreement with G Honda and his assessment of a splash play? That's the first question for you.
Yeah, I definitely had disagreement with him whenever we first discussed this. I think it's just because correct me if I'm wrong, I thought, didn't he want to say it was like only like a defensive play?
I think the initial premise of it was that way, or no, this is how it started. So we were watching the Chicago Bear stream on a Sunday against, I would like to say, the Ravens, quite possibly. And the Bears got an interception, and because it was not returned for a touchdown, G Honda indicated that it wasn't a splash play. And so we got us into the whole situation of you could have a turnover or a large gain, but if the drive didn't end in a touchdown, then it was all for naught, i.e. not rendering the singular play that you should be talking about as a splash play. And so I think that's where the first disagreement came in with G Honda because a
Yeah,
play,
that's where I disagreed.
a play is one thing, one play, one instance, not several, not a drive. It's just one hut hike, and whatever happens on that said play is pretty much how it goes. Now, chat, since G Honda disagrees with the real definition, and I guess he has some Jurassic definitions of his own. Does anybody disagree with the fact that 20 T Miles says 20 yards or more? On defense, does anybody have, or Chelsea, give me some breakdowns of what we would consider a splash play when it comes to the defensive side of the ball, since that is a area of discussion for us.
So a splash play for me is like any big play that's a major play. And this is something you see, this is how sports highlights are created. You take the biggest play from the game, and that can be considered a splash play. So, yeah. I think when you see like a really good interception, a really good sack, things like that on defense.
And in that instance right there,
Beat it.
even against the particular definition that they would give you in the standard definition, I would agree more with yours than the conceptual definition that it has to be 20 or more yards as far as a pass play, or 10 or more when it comes to a run. On defense, like she said, a fourth down stop. Critical down to be stopped on because the ball is turned over. An actual takeaway, a forced fumble, interception, a kick return that goes for numerous amounts of yards to set you up, a block kick. There are several different impactful ways that you can see something. A juke move or a highlight leap. Some of those things, like she said, are the basis of which the highlight is created off of. And the highlight in itself should be considered a splash play. And if we were to look at it, go ahead.
I think it's important to know, like, the definition of splash play, I feel like has changed over time, because now, like, you're seeing so many good, like, all around good plays on all sides of the ball. So it's hard to just say, like, only one side of the ball is a splash play. I think that's how it's, like, expanded.
And that's exactly how I want to see it. We're going to get to look at some things that might show us some vision on the offensive side of the ball, might show some blocking, because me and Chelsea had another conversation when we talked about we don't have a quantifiable award or a way to look at the way an offensive line operates. Sometimes the way in which the lanes are created for a given run that we look at the runner and focus on, that splash play was created by something that most people don't ever look for. And so it's important that we understand on the whole that while we have a line that demarcates what we classify as a splash play or an explosive play, we do have a little bit of flexibility in that line, but not as much as the giraffe's neck. We can't be that flexible to believe that only scoring would render itself to be a splash play, because if that was the only thing that splashed, then we wouldn't have much wetness out here in the football world, and that ain't how I like to think about things. So we're going to move on to first. When I was in school in undergrad, and you do portfolios, Chelsea, the teacher shows you two examples. She shows A, the absolute way that you want to do something, and then B, she shows you, if you don't want to fail this class and repeat, you under no circumstance are to create or recreate said paper. Well, chat, we are going to show you first off how not to create a highlight tape. Or, as a matter of fact, since I'm dumbfounded as to what it actually is myself, until I actually see a play, we're going to let it play out. And you, chat, will define to us whether or not this is a highlight reel sent over to us by none other than the journalistic giraffe himself, G Honda. Let's check it out.
Pittsburgh is a place that has a language all its own. In Pittsburgh is of Steelers football.
The standard is the standard.
Now, first, he did say that Pittsburgh has a different way of thinking. And while G Honda don't represent Pittsburgh to the fullest, he do represent the odd way of thinking. Just saying.
That's our motto, that's our creed, that's our approach, but
handle business. That's what the standard is. The standard means every single time I say it.
is that a one-on-one? You gotta win it. I want the tie.
All right. Rachel, Steven, let me know, is anyone else buffering, as T Miles affectionately asks. Let me know that too. I want to know. But is this what we classify Top Pro as a splash play? Because I got my own thoughts about it. But the giraffe may have stumbled upon something. And they got Top Pro with the caps already. I can't stand this chat. Well, Botrix, I meant to say my bot. You try to have a little fake moderator, and it does all the wrong things. But, all caps. Maybe put the last letter in little letters. And, it won't see something. Rachel. Nonetheless, do we think this classifies? Because if we just see G Honda splash play, this may be the first time G Honda got it right. But as we watch throughout the rest of the video, let's see if we continue to see anything that G Honda gets right.
Man, in the growth and development of this thing.
Hey, yo. What I want to know in that regard was, if a splash play is supposed to be, and I guess on defense, it would classify as a interception in the real world. So I think we saw a splash play. But are we looking at Troy Polamalu return a ball to the end zone? Or are we watching a cut to a classroom with the coach? Because I can't tell if this guy scored. So if I can't tell if he scored, by G Honda's own logic, you put in a splash play into your highlight reel that indeed you yourself would not classify as a splash play. So whenever you can, sir, please explain. What you got,
And
Chelsea?
can we talk about the plays he chose? They're from 10 years ago.
You being nice.
Yeah, I'm being nice. You could just tell by even the little header, the little ticker thing where it shows the scoreboard.
It's been
old. It's old.
I was gonna say it's futuristic now. Not to mention, Troy Polamalu played when I was in undergrad. I'm somebody's papa now. I'm decades removed from undergrad. He tried, but not only did you give us a dated material so far, we're gonna see maybe you got something else. Because right now all I'm seeing is 1994 Fox. We're gonna find out, do he got something that lines up with the future, or at least the present right now, Stephen James. How about that? You thought G Honda splash plays was when he brought his rubber duck in. Hey, you know what? Is it true that giraffes bathe their knees in warm milk? I didn't know that, man. I never knew. We learned the giraffe history and G Honda splash plays.
I'm talking to you about
the standard,
norms, expectations,
is the standard.
mindsets that you should have. And it's always good to
look at that right there, everybody, if you can. Wait. It's gonna get to you in a minute. I want you to be able to see one thing that's on this screen here.
acknowledge reasonable
maybe
expectations.
it hasn't got that for you. Reasonable expectations is what this guy wants y'all to have. Reasonable, everybody. G Honda gave us something that says reasonable expectations, yet and still a black couch. G Honda contends that if you don't score when you get the ball on this alleged G Honda splash play, that it's not indeed a splash play. Tell me how reasonable that is. Carry on.
100 of those.
We always got it kicked out.
Here we go again.
Wait.
22, everybody. In case y'all didn't realize, he got that interception from this guy called Peyton Manning. I don't know if y'all know. Peyton Manning has a nephew by the name of Arch Manning. Arch is where does he play? Chelsea, Texas?
Texas, yep. Quarterback at Texas.
So he got a whole ass 20-year-old or so, 19, 20-year-old playing nephew in the league. Yet G Honda again gives us a splash play from the glory days. We'll wait. Maybe we might get something from 2000, y'all. Just wait. We might get something from 2000.
I mean, even Big Ben's retired. How long has he been retired now? 2 years?
Let me see. They had about 5-6 quarterbacks. Kenny Pickett been in the league about 4 years or so. Yeah, been about 5, 6, 7 years. Who knows? 2018. He's still showing us jailbreak uniforms and things that make no sense. But I will give him credit that 2 of the 3 plays were indeed, by his measure and by all measures, splash plays. Let's continue. That's a G Honda dance right there. A little giraffe. Is this a highlight? What in the splash play is this not? What is this? Is anybody seeing this? I want anybody to tell me. He's telling me about Rudy Gay again. Let me see. Let me hear Gay's last name again.
Jobs is not a booster with a big enough blank check.
Anyone else? All right.
Thank you. Anybody asking Sean Payton about that? You know, anybody asking Andy Reid about stuff like that?
Wait. Super Bowl 23. It don't mean a thing if you ain't got sea green. It don't mean a thing if you ain't got sea green.
Of Steelers football.
The standard is the standard.
All right. While I get our camera angles looking like something for me and Chelsea over here as we try to give her access, because as we state, we building as we flying. Chelsea cannot give appropriate commentary and feedback if she can't actually see what the hell is going on behind the scenes. So let's not be.
I've been watching on my phone. I've been watching on my phone so I can see.
Being very rude over here.
It's all good. It's all good. I've been able to keep up with it on my phone.
Totally crazy. Like, I'm thinking to myself, say we get into a portion where we actually get to see some indeed splash plays, rank them, and for the purposes of some audience participation for us, Chels, would we prefer to rank these in a 1 to 10 fashion, or would we want to categorize them into real splash play or G Honda splash play for the audience? Because some of them might actually fit into his weird, twisted narrative of a splash play.
Yeah, I think we should do the category.
Okay, so we're going to always have it be, I would assume, A or G. The giraffe being the G in the chat. If you agree with
Yeah, A or G.
if you agree with the A, after we show you a play, Chelsea will be able to go through a breakdown of said play, tell you what we're seeing, as she is more of a play-by-play tactician, if you will. She might not look at it that way, but I get to watch the game without watching her screen at times, and those are things that I don't think you can get from myself. So we are going to go through some of the highlights that I would classify as a few splash plays. She'll look at those, bear with the visual, as you don't necessarily need to see me, but you're going to see a feature of the young lady while she gives us her rundown. Give me one moment as we queue up Postman's versions of splash plays.
That's our motto, that's our creed, that's our approach. But
Ball is completed or the clock is running. Williams slings it. Williams. Loveland. Bangs off his man. He's going to score.
24.
Posted Loveland. In a short
What's his last name? Loveland?
Colston Loveland. And what I'm looking for right now, Chelsea, is the volume on this so that I can appropriately hear your golden voice. I should already know this. Oh, there we go. Yep. Now, before we get to that, the last play that we just saw, as she indicated, a play that happened in week 9, I would like to say, against the Bengals. That was a rollout from Caleb to Colston. That did, I believe, result in a touchdown. So, class, are we in the notion of a you whichever one you like? Are we going to vote this into a traditional splash play, or does this in fact make the cut as being a G Honda Jurassic splash play? Put one of those letters in the chat for us if you could, so that we can know that you've seen the actual play. After that, we will blow through some of these and see exactly what it is that you think about with a quick A or G reply to pretty much all of them as she runs through a play-by-play. So we just seen the last play. I'll go back for you real fast.
Williams slings it. Williams. Loveland. Bangs off his man. He's going to score. Home. Colston Loveland.
I love Colston.
In a short dropper.
Williams rolling, throwing, open, making the grab. Touchdown.
Okay, so
Ahmed into the
run that back again.
Yeah.
In a short dropper.
Williams rolling, throwing, open, make.
Wow, another one. He dropped a dime, like right on the money, thread the needle. You couldn't ask for any better from Caleb Williams.
Now in that one, I wouldn't care, people, and A or G is always the options. I wouldn't care if this classified into A or G. This was a textbook bread basket pass, as they might call it in the league, where he took a teardrop pass and dropped it squarely into the hands of his tight end, who did a marvelous job of catching on. That right there will give you the warm tinglies on the inside.
Yeah, and another thing that I liked about that is, he's making a play on the run. So he's out of the pocket, making a play. You can't ask for any better than that. And it's like a thread the needle type of pass. Like, this guy was covered and was still able to come up with a catch.
And don't forget to mention in that particular play, he is rolling out the opposite way and throwing back across his body. Mm-hmm. So he rolled out to the left and threw it through the going back to the middle of the field. So you're throwing a cross body in a teardrop in 35-mile-per-hour wind gust. So the wind didn't stop the wetness of the splash right there. You can put that in every category. I think it was a textbook throw, but it's definitely got to be. I'm gonna vote. It's in the G Honda splash. We even saw 2 G Honda splash plays out here. That's what we gonna classify these silly plays as, because they ended in touchdowns. Not the drive, but just one play. So, hey, call me crazy, but I'm voting for G Honda right now. He almost winning in this crazy category. Let's see what we got next.
In the grab, touchdown. Cole Kmet into the end zone.
To him. Let's see. One hand up.
Gonna come up with an interception.
Possession.
Here we go.
McCarthy going deep.
Him again. Let's see.
End zone.
Yep. Another interception.
Cree. I want you to.
2 great interceptions.
I want you to be able to see this man's hands. He got a penchant for. Look at that one hand. And now on this drop back right there, this guy think he got one going straight to the end zone. No, ma'am, no, sir. That's Nashawn. Now, Nashawn Wright is a undrafted player. Started his career with the Cowboys and Al Harris. Went to the Vikings practice squad last year and was plucked off of said practice squad this year due to one Al Harris. Nashawn will make the Pro Bowl, if you ask me, this year. And I do believe that Nashawn is making a bit of a splash, all puns intended, himself right now. You know what do you know about Nashawn Wright, Chelsea? You remember anything about him? I've not heard about him until this year, so I know of all those things from.
I mean, no. What I didn't keep. Obviously, we had Bland and Trayvon Diggs and them covering, so I didn't get to see much of him until he was with the Bears. But I will say, I love a CB that can come up with a catch like that ball was meant for them.
Man.
Like, even though it's meant for the wide receiver, for a CB to come up with the ball like it's meant for them, those are my favorite.
And it's my favorite mainly because if you look at the fact that most defensive backs are defensive backs, in fact, because they have a problem catching the ball. So when you get to see them exercise the skill set of doing it with a one-handed grab or something to that degree to make it as spectacular as a wide receiver would, I think it does give you a bit of an affinity to show that some of them may have been overlooked in their original position, or may have developed a bit late in life and they are already cast to the other side, or just maybe you got a penchant for where the ball is and maybe you can't catch it all the time, but you got a nose for it.
That's what I was going to say is I think there are certain type of like CBs that are more of ball hogs, like Trayvon Diggs, more of a ball hog type of guy. He loves interceptions. He used to play wide receiver and then switched to CB.
I didn't know that.
But he started out at Alabama as a wide receiver, and then Nick Saban switched him to a CB. And then that's when he started playing cornerback. But anyways, yeah, so those types have always been like more ball hog type players. Some are just more like defensive tackle. Now some you have like all around good. Like I would say Patrick Surtain is one of those players that's all around.
Yes.
He can make tackles and come up with interceptions.
And it can play you in, I would say, a zone type of coverage if he needs to play back off of you. He can play a man press. He does have like and the term is a bit overused, but he is a bit of a refined Swiss Army knife. I'll say that to be nice about it. G-Class, how we doing today? Welcome in. What up, everybody? We are going through some G Honda splash plays right now. We are in the posty section of some splash plays. Let's continue over here and see if we got something new.
Intercepted! Nashawn Wright, who had a pick 6 against McCarthy in week 1, with a terrific kick.
Crazy to come up with that
That's
catch.
last week against the Jets, just incredible. Flacco.
Ooh, okay, so under pressure, getting sacked. Wow.
Chicago has
That was
recovered.
Flacco, I think,
They just got it away on 3rd and long.
getting sacked.
Now, what we don't give credit for in that one right there, I want everybody to know we're going to go back to this play because I need you to see how Austin gets there. And we got a dog outside agitating my pup in case y'all hear any barking.
Yeah, he got there. He got there so fast. Look at him come off the edge. Wow.
Off the edge, one armed. He bull rushed him without actually having two arms on that. And that same arm was the one he used to wrap the quarterback up. So it's like you drove him back and out of the way with one particular arm. Come here. Come here. He is so stressed that you can't join in. No reindeer games for you, my boy. What I like to see that a guy who doesn't have many pass rush moves right now is starting to be able to understand how to use the one thing that he does have in his arsenal as a strength, and he is being able to, blossom into a person that is learning to have more than one move. He used to be a straight swim type technique, so he's always trying to go over the top of somebody because he has a little length. It is nice to see that he's finally started to understand that some people, based on technique or stance, you can go ahead and make a bull rush, and that one would give you more leverage in this instance to make not only the sack, which we would classify as a splash play, but to go ahead and finish it up by going and making a forced fumble and recovery, I believe, on his own. We're going to go back, and it may have been another player that recovered the ball, but let's just check this out.
Football came out. Chicago has recovered.
Yep, ball came out.
Yeah, so
Ball came out.
So ball came out. So you got a forced fumble off of that one right there, and that's some of the things that we get to see on a week-to-week basis. And I am Bears heavy with some of my things I put together, guys. But why not? Let's continue.
Just got it away. 3rd and long. Watch out. Picked off.
Oh, intercepted. Taking it all the way.
Gets a block.
Nobody's gonna
And now a touchdown.
spot somebody picking up a block.
The former Vikings. But that
All
offensive
the
line
way.
is not immune either. Play
Beautiful interception.
Once again, you already see who that is. It's wonderful Nashawn Wright again, who does lead the league in interceptions, by the way. Let's not overlook that. Sometimes we may not mention it because I don't want to toot the Bears' horn too much because I'm going to do it all Sunday when we beat on the Packers. But long strides, made a jump on the ball, was able to read it very easily. And if you see those, look at those legs right there. That's a gallop all the way there. That's a long dude. Like, he got to have at least like a 6'11" wingspan or something like that. I can't even believe anything else. But when we talk about wingspan, when we talk about the way in which his body is built, I don't know the wide receiver that he cannot match up against Chelsea. Like,
Oh yeah, he's been elite. And I was thinking, I was like, does he? Whenever I was watching the highlight, I was like, does he have like the most interceptions right now? And you said he does, right?
yep, he leads the league in
So
interceptions.
he's definitely going to be Pro Bowl.
Well, you think about it. 3 of the top 4 interception leaders in the league are on my first place Chicago Bear team, and Kevin Byard, Nashawn Wright, and Tremaine Edmonds. And Tremaine has missed the last 2 games, and he's a linebacker. But, leading the league in takeaways is something that we've been doing this year. In G Honda's world, we don't have splash plays because they're not all pick sixes. But I would say that a league leading 26 takeaways would classify as at least 26 splash plays, Giraffe. Let's carry on.
action pressure with Bernard coming off the edge.
Ooh, look at
And now
Caleb.
here's Swift
Okay,
on the other
pressure.
side.
Wow.
Nice pass floated
Taking a
for
play.
the catch, the
Good
run, the
pass.
first down.
9 deep. And
First down. That was a great play.
Do you see
That was great.
the elusiveness of that? I'm more impressed with the way in which he escapes this pocket than the actual pass. Like, we'll check this out one more time. Let's see.
Nice.
I gotta get back to it. There we.
And
One.
now here's Swift on the other side.
Damn, I ain't go
Nice
that far enough.
He had two defenders. Two defenders on him.
9 deep.
And that actually went for some yards too.
To come up with a scheme that's going to protect the quarterback against all of
And
them.
still able to make that first down.
Mariota intercepted. Down the
Okay, we got an
sideline.
interception here.
Greenlaw
Taking it all
to
the way.
34
I watched this
line.
game.
So they moved it down
This is
there
a Monday
well.
night game
Mariota
or Sunday?
was in position to try to make a
Oh, when did they play? Sunday night.
Sunday night?
night. Pause that. Yeah, pause that. That was such an interesting game. Like, I thought the refs were kind of iffy in that game. I'm not gonna lie. And I even seen a headline from Sports Illustrated that said that the refs really caused issues for Washington to even be able to win that game. But yeah, that game was interesting. You had a ton of great plays in that game.
But to speak of what you just talked about, the refs will be pretty meddlesome, to say the least, in every game, and they have been. And that's even more of a concern for me because Rachel had a great question, and she wanted to know how realistic the opportunity to have 18 games was going to be moving forward with the double bye week type of scenario. And when you think about them adding another game to the season schedule, which I do believe will happen at some point, you take away another preseason game, yet you infuse in the need for another crew. And so either a current crew has to do extra games, and I think it's maybe last week of the season, you got to have 13 games going on at once, or 14 perhaps. So
yeah, 14, I think. Yeah.
At that rate, to add that game in, I think you're going to have to need more of an officiating pool. And that in itself, when we see so many controversial plays, the Bears have been a part of many of those this year in terms of non-calls, either against us on the defensive side or offensive plays that were never meant to be called as penalties. And those things have still kind of gave us some, I guess, created some havoc, to say the least. I wonder how that works out for us in terms of having lesser trained eyes, for lack of a better term. Like, if those guys now who are vested veterans and we have so much issue with the way in which they officiate a game, could we see the negativity in having another game if in fact they have to add more staff? Could that be something that we would like to have a return to sender on, Chelsea? Or are you in favor of 18 games?
I don't mind. Here's my issue with the refs. Like, here's my thing. There needs to be more repercussions for refs who call bad games.
Yes.
Because even in college football, I think it was Georgia and Auburn. The refs made such a bad call to where those refs got suspended. And I can't remember what happened in the NFL, but I remember seeing something like a ref got either suspended or fired. I can't remember. One of the two, which rarely happens in the NFL. But I just think there needs to be more rules with these refs, like more repercussions with the refs, like when they call bad games.
And I
don't think we're going to see that. So it's just going to be what it is.
But if you had to choose and you had the opportunity to make a repercussion, what would be a perfunctory type that you would think is reasonable when they have, quote unquote, a bad game?
Depending on what it is, if it's a bad enough call to where it could have changed, like it literally changed the game. And I'm a Dallas fan, so I'm going to use this as an example. But you go back to the Des Bryant catch.
The catch.
Against,
I knew it.
Against Green Bay.
Against the Packers.
Okay? The NFL later ruled that a catch.
Yep.
So
Cost you a game.
Later on got ruled a catch. What does that do for Dallas now? Like, we possibly could have made it, and we got cheated out of that. So I think for something like that, they either need to get suspended and take a class. There needs to be a number. How many times are you doing this? So if you like third strike, if this is your third time doing it, fired. But if this is like your first or second time, like maybe suspend them for so many games and then make them pay a fine and then also make them take a class, a referee class, and then bring them back. But there needs to be something done with these refs. I'm telling you, I've had it with the refs.
Now, I have heard people refer to you as coach. I am going to say, Chelsea, I am happy that you are coach instead of owner or GM or commissioner, because you'll come down on that head. She said 3 strikes and you out. You got to go. Look.
Yeah.
Three bad flags and you done. One false start could be the undoing of your life.
No, wait. Let me clarify that. Like, I'm saying it depending on how severe it is. If it affects the game, if it's a play call that affects the game, like I used the Des Bryant catch, that affected the game. So if it's something like that, heck yeah, you gotta go.
But we can't quantify it in that way. And I give you the example. We're on 4th and inches. And my team is trying to go for it because we are down 4 points. If in fact a false start puts me at 4th and 6 when nobody moved, that's critical for what I'm trying to accomplish right there. I.e., I could lose the game on that, just like a ruling of a catch. So I did where you went with it, but it's so ambiguous to understand the limit that you get to go to. And I guess, like you said, we would really have to have a staunch set of rules set in place already to go ahead and totally rectify it. But I do like the fact that you gave me opportunities to relearn. So for me, on your third offense, in terms of an egregious call, I would have you go to retraining and dock you a game check. If everybody gets an end of year review, if you get a grade, if you are not a B, this is where we get to grad school. If you're not a B plus or higher, you are out of here. No C's will happen because, like you said, some of these things really come down to let's put it in context, G class, because it's wild, but it's not. In the sense that, let's say somebody makes such a controversial call against a player, that player may be a fringe player and thus may be out of the league, off of a team, because of the gravity of such a call in a given moment. And he may not ever get the opportunity again just because Bill Vinovich wanted to make a bad pass interference call when he had perfect technique and he looked back and everything else. And now he on the chopping block next year because he was only a 4th round pick. Like, the referees oftentimes have second jobs, or first job, I have to say. This is their second job.
Oh yeah, yep.
So
this, like, they have other careers that
yes,
they do.
You said it, a career, a real career. So I don't want you to be fired so instantaneously, but we will have you in ref school. I don't know what that quantifies as. We might have some modules. You're gonna have some simulated games. I don't know, but we're gonna be out there with Dance Revolution with the flags, and we're gonna find out if you know what you're doing, because otherwise,
exactly,
we get a lot of G Honda splash plays out there, and they ain't good for business. Let's get back to them. Now here,
good run! Look at this.
Now here, while he shows vision, cut back in terms of the swiftness of his feet, all puns intended again, Mr. Swift. And what I got out of that whole thing is the splash play wasn't the running back for me in that one, Chelsea. We talked about this earlier. Did you see the line? Did you see how that line opened up for him? That's what
I was gonna say. The gap.
Let's take this back. Yes.
Open.
So we're at the point of attack here. Watch this play line up. Now I got a lay down right there at the bottom. I got a guard standing there. Joe Tooney at the end. Don't have nobody else to block. Just and then again.
Another one, yeah, another one.
They find ways to open that line up for us right there. If anybody wants to talk about this, and you probably don't, but I do. The Bears are 9-3 this year, and Chelsea. The main reason that is, besides the coach, is because of that front five, i.e. the front six. The way in which Ben schemes things with the use of that offensive line gives, like, I guess, a master class in schematics when it comes to knowing your role and doing your job effectively. It shows how all five of those guys have to be connected like a fist as opposed to a individual hand, and the way in which they go about making those runs look like the running back has all the vision in the world, but he has just a bit more than some other people, but he has the vision to know exactly where those guys are going to create their hole. It shows a relationship that goes beyond the play, but the splash for me in itself, and anybody in the chat who disagrees, it's the line play and the way in which they open those holes up. You created that lane, and I followed it. And it's like in a speedboat, I'm kind of following in the wave behind the other boat, not necessarily trying to create my own ripple. We talk about splash again. That's how you part the seas and allow them to go ahead and methodically dance, use the hole the way they need to, and eventually try to score. Let's skip it along to a couple other plays I believe I have here before we get into Chelsea's version of the Splasharoos.
Who is the target?
Oh my God!
One hand.
If you notice this, he snatches that away. He snatches that from Jackson. Adoree Jackson. Adoree Jackson has his hand on that. No, he's going for the pass.
I was gonna say, yeah. I was Puka Nacua.
Yeah, he's on offense. But if you notice in that play, because he is not upright, he's left his feet already. Adoree Jackson is facing the ball and has his right hand on it. Puka snatches the ball or uses his right hand as like a pin
to come up with it.
Yeah, to pin the ball against it before he totally snatches it away. Watch how that goes, chat. Watch this right there. He snatches it away. He kind of uses him like a serving tray. Like, oh, thank you. No need for you anymore. I'll take it from here. I can. Puka's a fifth rounder from BYU. Talent is where you find your gemstones in the later rounds, and he was a gift. That's all. Much like a Manungai in the 7th round. We got a guy. Back to the plays.
And just playmakers making plays. It's 5. He catches it at the 1.
Just for you, Chelsea.
Yeah, here we go.
And
let's see it. Come on. Drop the ball out.
Cowboys recovered it.
On top of it. I can't remember. I think the Cowboys recovered it.
Yes, you did.
He's the long snapper.
He stuck his ass. This is my favorite.
The Cowboys finally started making play. Ooh.
Now,
this is when. This is a good one.
Before we get to that, you just said it. The Cowboys are making a little bit of noise right now, Chelsea. Early in the season, the prospects weren't so high, I believe. Right now, you are at 6-1, if I'm correct. What are the vibes on playoffs for the Cowboys?
Oh heck! As a Cowboys fan, I'm just I've said this before. you should only get one time to say we're headed to the playoffs or the Super Bowl, and that's it. You're done. Don't say it no more. Just wait for it to happen. Just wait and see for it to happen. So it's like, for me, it's like I'm not saying anything until I see it happen. It's like we all know how it goes for the Cowboys. I'm just waiting to see. It's been great seeing the wins that they've had lately, like with the Chiefs and then with the Eagles. Those are the two ones that I was like, okay, like that, they look good. But how long are they going to keep it going is always the question for me.
And if we can see Bear fans know that you are not the only jilted fan in the world, she has the same fear to dip her foot in the pool because she understands totally how quick the other shoe can drop. And
exactly.
I myself will give her my vote of confidence in believing that the Cowboys might find a way to sneak into the playoffs. And this is why
they're looking good, but
they play the Lions. They play the Lions this week.
That's what I'm like. Me and Ty Pro are going to go at it because I know Ty Pro is a Lions fan.
And if you can do those things, though, you get the opportunity to go up to 7-6-1, and that tie that is a detriment to some may become a boon to you in your own division or in wild card standings. Period. And
I did see, I did see that the Lions are without a few players. Like they lost, which I'm kind of sad about. I'm going to butcher his name, and he played for Alabama. I always just called him by his last name, Arnold, but Terrion
yeah.
Arnold.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. I said it right. Well, like he's out
for the season.
Shoulder injury.
Yes, he is.
That made me so sad for him. Sad because he played for Alabama. No, not for you, I guess. But for me, it's like he played for Alabama. I watched him at Alabama. So I do watching college and watching NFL. It does make you kind of soft to all the players, and you wish the best for them. I don't wish bad on these players.
And
it's like I've watched them.
You watch them grow up. You watch their journey.
I watched them in college, and I want to see them do well. So it's like I feel bad. Like I feel bad for him being out. I mean, it helps me. It helps me him being out, but I am sad for him.
And therein lies what I understand so greatly in sport. Unfortunately, the game of football really is a game of attrition. You do understand that health is very faint. At this point in the season, nobody has a real relative amount of health, but they have sacrificed certain things and given things to the game that you, like you said, chronicled throughout college. I sympathize, or I even empathize, I should say, but I feel no sadness unless it's for my team and being a competitor, especially when it comes to people in my division, because as you know, Ty Pro can attest to knowing what it feels like to be the laughing stock of our division.
Yeah.
If
Ty Pro.
Yes, and he feels no sympathy.
He wants it probably more than me. Like, Cowboys fans, at least we can say we have Super Bowls.
I mean,
Lions fans can't say that.
But in that regard, he won't feel any sympathy for anybody on my team going down. When it comes to that Week 18 matchup, if they need to go into the playoffs. And while I would like to beat everybody at full strength just so I can have pound of flesh myself as a fan, I don't have to line up every week. And so if I was to line up, the competitor says you want to beat the best. The winner says whoever you line up, I'm fine with. But to reference our last thing about referees, T. Miles said he thinks every flag should be reviewable because flags like holding the face mask and PI are non-reviewable. And I think that's like heinous because they affect the game and we can't even go back to make sure you made a good or a bad call because of ego. That is a total ego thing.
Yeah.
There's nothing else in ego.
Another thing that I don't like that I really think shifts the game is those ticky-tacky refs when it comes to pass interference. When you have a wide receiver and a CB both getting handsy, let it be a no call. let it be a no call. Do not call pass interference. Like, why are we doing that? I can't stand a ticky-tacky ref.
Ticky-tack refs for the win, everybody. Speaking of the win, he been everywhere out here in these NFL streets. But one day he gonna be on these media streets, taking even more eyes away from me. Let's go ahead and watch this. I think one of my last plays over here, because it's a beaut, and I love J-Boo. Let's talk about it.
Olszewski, whoa!
Watches it, and this is a quarterback.
Now, yeah, that's why I'm gonna say we can go back to the beginning of this, because this is Jameis Winston being always to the rescue. Jameis, a third string quarterback right now. Toss. That's a toss back trick play. Gunnar Olszewski get the ball, throws the ball to him, and not only do he catch the ball, spins out, and he big enough to get out of there. He walked to the end zone on that. Look at Jay. Look at J-Boo.
Clock running inside.
James is my guy.
Goes through his progressions.
There's just so much going on in that play.
Swings it back. It's deflected.
And it's an interception here in this play here. And then after the interception,
Who recovers?
a fumble.
And then you got Tennessee.
And then he picks it, yes.
And, they get the, it's just,
And he started with the ball. Now this is for G Honda to show him what a new age Steelers splash play looks like.
Yeah, we spun him out here. Look at.
I show him the new Steelers. I show him new Steelers. Tap Pro.
Such a great play from Washington.
Tap Pro, I didn't forget about you.
He did.
This is, if anybody asks me right now, I hate to say it, but this is him when we talk about the league. That dude right here.
Yeah.
Let's just look at it. This dude named Jahmyr Gibbs, Mr. Alabama himself. I bet.
Alabama. Yeah.
I knew he was gonna say that. Yeah, I knew you was. And that's funny that is your favorite school, and I'll tell you why. My alma mater is also in Alabama, and typically when anybody who is not familiar with HBCUs ask about schooling, and I refer to saying that I graduated from Alabama State University, if they are ignorant of school, they are quick to roll tide me or anything that ain't got nothing to do with my school.
Clue.
Yes, like don't really care about UA or AU.
Yeah.
And I went to school there, so
Alabama has a lot of those too. Like, it's either going to be, people are going to assume it's Auburn or Alabama.
And I like both of them, but neither one are places I attended. The Iron Bowls were lit. Yeah. I went to all of them, but they weren't for me. But one more time, I got to see this guy pick up the Sonic coins again, because Jahmyr Gibbs is a freak of nature. Too bad he ain't gonna do nothing for you out here.
I hope our defense can stop that. That's what we struggle with. That's what the Cowboys always struggle with, is the run game.
You got Quentin Williams for a reason. I hope he better do something.
We got Williams.
Just get a completion.
We'll see how they do.
On 3rd and 14. He's got
watch this right here. Pop
down Jones.
Give me that.
From behind. Forces another turnover.
Missed calls.
Wow.
Yeah, you gotta have some accountability for missed call, but it can never really happen that way. Y'all got to watch this right there, cause I love to watch Sonic coins out there. Dexter Lawrence used to play for the Giants. He now plays for the Seahawks, and they have one of the defenses that I am, what's the word I'm looking for, a bit concerned about. They get after it out there, and while my offensive coach is a mastermind, I'm not certain. But with that being said, we are done with my particular plays of Splash here. Let's move into the later segment of our wonderful thing. Two people got it right. The other person is G Honda. Now we get to show you Chelsea's rendition of wonderful Splash plays. Let's see what you got, Chelsea. Chelsea Lynn presents. Y'all see
I'm already excited.
Y'all see the pretty in pink over here. We ready for it. Let's check them out.
Yeah, I had to add my little touch to it, okay?
Y'all see her.
You had two defenders defenders on him too.
That is Cooper DeJean, and I can't tell you who 31 is. Now, I will tell you, I love those jerseys that the Eagles have on against you guys. I won't lie to you. But I mean,
the Kelly Green or whatever.
The Randall Cunningham's that joint to me. G Honda, we went through your splash plays, and we found out that there was not as much splash in the 90s, where you got your clips from, as there are today, in today's era. You see what George Pickens just did right there on the screen? We didn't see anything like that. We just saw Willie Gay continuously do the giraffe dance. And I know you picked it because he did your dance. But let's get back to some real plays over here, because we ain't talking about your fake highlights that weren't highlights, that were kind of low lights. And the standard is supposed to be the standard, good friend. That really didn't happen. Next play.
Another one. Back to pass to Pickens.
Oh!
Bunch of dog defenders.
He ain't done?
He heard him.
Wait a minute. I thought after the spin out, that was the end of him. He spent out on him and then go with a hurdle.
Yeah, yep.
That is fucking nuts.
No. What's crazy is, okay, so George Pickens has like a reputation of like these hurdles, and sometimes he hits it, sometimes he doesn't. And like on one of them, when he tried to hurdle and he didn't get it, he was like, "Yeah, you don't need to be doing that." But now here's an example of why he does need to continue to try to do it. Because look, he gained more yards from that.
And look who has to try to take credit. George Pickens was drafted by Pittsburgh and couldn't be contained. No. You said he wasn't good enough. You wasn't going to pay him. And now look at Dallas.
Got DK Metcalf.
How's that working out for you? Carry on.
Yeah. How's that going? Oh, a sack. That's Clowney.
What? Jadavian? Now, is he still in the league?
Clowney?
Yeah.
Is for Lamb.
Yeah,
sits out this play. Second and one. They've got
damn.
Here goes Davis. Malik Davis sitting in zone.
Free. That was a great run play.
Who is Malik
Warren,
Davis?
I think his last name's Warren. Yeah. Oh, Davis. Okay.
Is he a running back or something?
Yeah. Mhm.
Wolfpack, how you doing?
I think he was the one that.
Yeah, I mean, I saw a handoff, but I didn't know it was like a trick play. If he's a wide receiver, special teams guy. Man, Pickens has been a problem.
There was one play where I heard them say it was a fullback, and I was like, "We got a fullback?" And it threw me off. But I don't think it was that play. But yeah,
he needed a neck thing in the back if he's a fullback, like an all-star type. Give me some of that.
Yeah. But our offensive line did great there. Like, I was so impressed with the gap. Like, you're talking about plays that you see with Chicago Bears, like how they open the gap for their run plays.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we needed.
G Honda, you hear that? That's what you wish y'all had, but unfortunately, you never will. Chelsea brought you here, and I am glad to see you where you are. Wolfpack, if you would, please, everybody, hit the like button as we move through the remaining splash plays presented by Chelsea. Let's get back to it.
And the Cowboys take the lead. They're down at 8. Here comes the pressure. Running away from it is Sanders. He's looking long. He's got a man. Caught at the 10-yard line. He's down. Hits it.
Who the hell?
Man.
Oh, who's he? Hold on, let's go back. Who just caught that ball? This is from Shadua, by the way.
And the Cowboys take the lead. They're down at 8. Here comes the pressure. Running away from it is Sanders. He's looking long. He's got a man. Caught at the 10-yard line. Bonds. He's down. Hits it.
I don't know who that guy is.
It was no. Bond. Isaiah Bond.
Oh, Isaiah Bond. Okay.
He played for Alabama and then went to Texas, but Isaiah Bond was the one who caught that.
And that name sounds familiar.
Yeah. Yeah, he was in. Okay, so this is why you probably aren't familiar with him, is because he was in like some legal battle with a girl who made like false claims on him, and after it got cleared, he was able to be in the league, and then the Cleveland Browns took him. So and now he's already making plays like that. I was like, wow.
Well, he better find a different place to make him at, because Cleveland is where things go to perish. But you know who didn't? Juice Landry. Jarvis was pretty darn good there. I tell you that. Loved me to Jarvis when I was here. Cowboys are overrated like bear claws. G Honda, you wish. One day, just one day, but no time soon, will your team be relevant again? But you'll have a new coach by then, and Mike will be somewhere else winning. Carry on.
T-Miles said the fullback position is almost dead. Yep. That's why I was like, fullback. It threw me off because I was like, I haven't, like, there's only a few teams in the league right now that have a
true
fullback.
Ricard will be one of them. I think Baltimore, and I can't even tell you the other team for real. So that's crazy. We did have one to start the season, but we got rid of Kari Blasting game. So you're right. It's becoming an extinct position altogether. But what's also becoming extinct is some of these splashes. Let's get to the rest of them.
The return by Marcus Jones.
There we go.
He can fly.
This one, this was the Patriots.
Yes, it was. This was a Monday night game right here.
No way.
Touchdown.
You got everything.
Ooh, your boy got a 9-game parlay that all culminated with that game right there. Shout out to the Patriots. Let's go.
Tyler Shuck throws. It's intercepted.
Oh,
He can get points on the return.
is he going? Is he gone?
Fitzpatrick.
He's gone.
He's gonna go.
Ain't nobody gonna catch him.
All the way.
Minka's
Targets to Shaquille.
Minka is also a Crimson Tide member, correct?
Yep, he played for a lot of. If you notice, a lot of these ones have like a lot of former Alabama players in it.
And you know, Chelsea, until you just said it, my silly self didn't even pick up on the theme, but
Yeah.
Man, G
I
Honda.
got it until I rewatching it.
Josh Gordon was a beast, period. They just was hung up on the weed. They shouldn't even worry about the weed. He's playing lights out every week. But, you know, I guess it was against the rules, so that's how they going to play the man. But now we talking about the man, and you just said Josh. We're going to get into this Josh right here. Take it away.
Josh Allen.
Here completed. This is behind Cooper, who brought it in.
Pass. Tosses it back. Touchdown.
Dude,
For
this,
the win.
Hang on to the ball. Impressive.
the fact that you had the wherewithal to stay up, see your quarterback running towards you, toss it to him, and have what I call the balls to toss the ball back to a quarterback. Now, I understand Josh is a different breed, but what in your brain says, you know what? I'm going to toss it back to the quarterback, and he's going to be able to run. That was like the ultimate amount of cojones that I don't think was really there. I think it was just a brain-dead football play, and it worked out. Salute to Josh in the snow. And I believe this right here is also from this week, a Sunday night game, correct? Let's check it out.
Yep.
For the win.
That was the
Yep. Okay. That was a 2-point conversion. That was a 2-point conversion right there. He blocked.
Yep.
That's what that was. They had scored 27-26. He was walking. He had a walk-in to get there.
Dart to his left. Now back to his right.
Look at Dart.
He's bottled
He
up.
think he Caleb's little brother.
Yeah. scrambling. Like, look at this. Like,
Surveying and
right
completing.
left, and then to be able to
Slate.
still come up with a play. Like, man.
And the 2-point try
Now,
is
what
good.
what I like about Jackson is stuff like that. But I really need Jackson to extend his career. I need him to stop with the giving his body up so selflessly. He had
Yeah, that's what.
six
Exactly. That's what
concussions.
I've been talking about. Yeah, that's what I've been talking about. It's like this is something that I remember seeing with like Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow had to learn fast. Like even the rest were telling him slide, don't take the hit, slide, and he thinks he's Josh Allen.
And we have seen what these TBIs are doing to players later in their careers. As Chelsea chronicles a lot in terms of mental health awareness and things of that nature when it comes to sports and athletes. We got to understand that there are certain things you cannot avoid when you play a game like this, but there are certain things that you most certainly can avoid and should avoid for the livelihood of yourself and everybody around you moving forward. Nobody wants to see you be less than your full self, especially at such a young age. And you want to be able to live a full life so that you can enjoy some of the money that you have made based on the hard work you put in this career to be able to play a kid's game as a professional. So just a little FYI to anybody who got kids or children or any young men that might be playing football, the importance of the safeties within the game just the same. With that being said, we're going to talk about who ain't safe right now, and I think it might be somebody's quarterback. Let's check it out. Alabama again, people.
Yeah, Alabama, Anderson Jr. He's one of my favorites.
So, everybody, quick thing for you. Chelsea likes Alabama. We got to remember that. She loves her some Joshy. Some Alabama of all sorts. I bet she probably got a Nick Saban autographed T-shirt in her closet like the rest of the fanatics. They love them some Coach Saban. And
oh man, I miss him so bad.
Now, do you think you guys will be getting a new coach anytime soon? You think Catilin is gonna be there for the long haul?
I think he's there to stay for right now. But one coach that I did want that we were not going to be able to get was Dabo Swinney from Clemson, because Dabo Swinney played for Clemson, and he really has a similar mindset to what you see with Nick Saban. So I thought Dabo Swinney would be a good fit, but Clemson was smart. Clemson put in his contract a no-compete clause, so he had 1 year left on the no-compete clause because he could not go to Alabama. That's what his contract said with the no-compete clause. Yeah, so he had 1 year left, and that's, when we needed a coach, and, yeah, so we got to 4.
He said, ain't no way. I can understand it.
Yeah.
Let's see, do we have anybody that can give a stamp of approval to G Honda having any credence to his goofiness of gadget play, aka the G Honda giraffe splash play? I think that we have seen several examples that show you what a true splash play consists of. I think conversely, we have shown you that an elongated neck can have you have too long of a thought that might actually make you not so lucid, like G Honda and all these rampant tweets he has going on, or messages talking about LSU and Lane Kiffin. Lane Kiffin is he should have stayed at Ole Miss. You could have been a hero in a place that has low expectation for you. Now you step up in class again where the big boys want their money. The boosters paid you for a reason, and if you don't do it in 2 years, my friend, you will get your ass ran right up out of there, just like they do everybody else. See Ogeron for details.
Yeah, I'm gonna come up with some upcoming YouTube shorts for Lane Kiffin, because I definitely want to cover the Lane Kiffin talk right now. But what's interesting with Lane Kiffin is I heard, like, what has he really done? And it's true. Like, if you look at his career, like his resume, he spent 1 year at Tennessee, left that place, went to USC, got fired on the tarmac, and
Don't get back on a
then
plane.
and then came to Alabama, and Nick Saban was gracious enough to hire him as our offensive coordinator, but then he got hired as a head coach at like Florida Atlantic or somewhere like that.
Yeah, FAU.
And he wasn't focused. We were trying to, get ready for the national championship, and he wasn't prepared. And Nick Saban fired him before the national championship. So then he went, to be the head coach at that other school. And then that's when he left there and came to Ole Miss, and now he's with. Okay, so what I'm getting at is Ole Miss was his longest.
His longest tenure job.
Stint.
Yep.
And he did well there, but I don't know. This is my thing. I think it's either going to go like Nick Saban, because Nick Saban did similar. He had similar behaviors where he left LSU for Miami and then left Miami for Alabama. And then that's, he won that one championship at LSU, and then the rest was at Alabama. So I'm thinking this could either go really well for Lane Kiffin and he could end up getting championships there, or it's going to go horrible.
Well, it'll all start with the recruiting, and that's why he is no longer coaching, because the recruiting path has to be beaten right now so that he can continue to do what G-Class says. Say Lane be getting them W's. So if he get them in LSU, in the vaunted SEC, where the work is real, they will revere him. He will get some more opportunities to do some other things later on down the line. If not, he will not be a priority male hire. He will, in fact, be a return to sender with that fragile sticker alert we get on it. Fake coaches get exposed, Brian Kelly, and very easily can you be sniffed out to get that package of a buyout. With that being said, I don't want you guys to buy us out, but if you would, please, and either Chelsea, if you have an email address, go right ahead and give it out, because I want the chat to do us a favor in helping us out with our next collab topic. So you give them an email address, and I'm going to do so after you, so that we can see what our next adventure brings. So type that into the chat forum, if you will. Please, everybody, either follow into Chelsea's email and her page.
Also on Discord.
Okay, wherever you prefer the message to be filtered in to yourself, you put that in the chat for us, along with your link, so that people can follow your page. And go ahead.
I can send them to my Discord through your Discord.
Look.
Yeah.
Chelsea is a bit more youthful than I, so she has this technology thing way more at a grasp. So she gonna give you informations, but it'll come via me. You can hit me in the Discord if you already are part of it. If not, mailboxsports3@yahoo.com. Chelsea tells me that I need to get my old ass over to Gmail. We gonna look into a couple things to keep on making improvements. Nonetheless, I want you guys to give us some topics that we could do a collaboration on. The next time we do our collab, we will be on the road, i.e. I'm going to be a guest over in Chelsea's place. I might even get me a cowboy hat so that I can fit on in and be apropos to what's going on in the motif over there. Check out her page. Weekly she does, like I said, some sport review from volleyball to college sport to NFL, you name it. She got some commentary and breakdown on it. It will not give you nearly as much, laughs as Jihanna's knock knees, but it will give you some comedic relief to go along with some information that you might need when it comes to the sporting side of life. If it gets delivered and it's lost and damaged in transit, we can blame the giraffe himself. Means it was G Honda who did it, much like he put together that insufficient excuse of a highlight play. I do appreciate G Honda being the basis of the reason in which me and Chelsea can get together today. So as much as I may tease the guy, does give us endless opportunities to have things to talk about on the sports side, because whether I like it or not, his questions do give me the opportunity to think a bit outside of what I would normally classify as regular sports talk. With that being said, until next delivery, I have to go be somebody's union steward today. It is time to get some more knowledge and learn how I can fight the case for all carriers and all Bears fans across the globe. Shout out to my Bears one more time. 9-3 feels good to me. G-Class, you already know what we got going up. It's cheese head week. It's rivalry week, as some people might call it, but it's not a rivalry when they've been kicking our ass. So I can't wait to exact some revenge. Until Sunday, check out all of my shorts we put up. If you want to support the page, that $ attached to Mailbox Sports 3 is the moniker Mailbox Sports 3 at yahoo.com. Like I said, today we hope we have given you a better understanding of what splash plays are. And I hope you have taken a splash into the pool of giraffes to figure out exactly what splash plays are not as well. We're going to return myself to sender. Thank you once again, Chelsea, for hanging out with me today and giving us all things sports from the Cowgirls' perspective. I appreciate it. And I like the hat.
Yeah, I heard that.
Hey.
Cowgirl.
Hey, you got to understand first, and I'm not even being funny, the skill set, when they talk about wrangling or anything that comes along with that hat, people may overlook it. I didn't have to get a horse back into a barn before. Trust me, that in itself is a task, let alone calling yourself to strap up your spurs and climb atop one of them. So to wear the hat, don't tell me we don't know nothing about the life. So, may not be immersed in it, but still make it look good. Till next time, y'all keep y'all routes clean out there. Keep your what do we call that? What do we call that? A cowboy hat? That's what it is. Don't.
Cowboy.
That's right.
Cowboy.
Don't want to.
Cowboy.
We don't want to get it wrong. We're gonna spurs up for y'all, and until next time, we're gonna deliver to you on Sundays. I will talk to you all later on. Thank you for hanging out with us today. Thank you, Chelsea's friends, for hanging out with us as well. The cheese is gone bad in Green Bay, and we are on our way. Check out other content on the page. Thank you for watching. Till next time, people.